The Neo Egoist League in Blue Lock is pretty much a mini Champions League, but made up of 5 teams from Europe's 5 great countries, being Germany's Bastard Munich, England's Mannheim City, Spain's FC Barça, France's PXG, and Italy's Uber. Now, these teams each have a master striker that they're supposed to train under for the duration of the league, who carry their own philosophy of football with them as well. Now, some of these master strikers have made some of our players go from low 70 overalls to high 80s and even low 90s, and have done the exact opposite and dragged players through the mud, bringing them down and potentially ending their football careers as we know it. Hey guys, DarkheroJosh here, and in today's video, we're going to be ranking the 5 master strikers in the Neo Egoist League, not based on their football skills and abilities, but coaching ability instead. So just as coaches, and just being that mentor figure to the Blue Lockers, going into depth with their football philosophy, etc, etc. As we usually do in these ranking videos, we're going to be starting from the bottom and working our way up to the first place spot. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Now, starting off in last place, I'm gonna have to put in the master of PXG, the god sprinter, Julian Loki. France is considered to be the young upstart to the European leagues that is on its way to becoming at the top of the European leagues as well. This makes sense, and players like Loki and Charles really back up that statement in having young and upcoming pro players that'll make great changes to the sport. Now, Loki is around the same age as most of the Blue Lockers, being 17 years old, and compared to the rest of the Masters, in Loki's case, there is a severe lack in experience between them to be passed on to the Blue Lockers. And though we've seen Loki be able to assess PXG's strengths and weaknesses, pretty much telling each player the pros and cons of their plays post-match and giving them the advice to correct them and put them on the right track, that's pretty much all that he's done for them as we know it. We know that he specifically came to the Neo Egoist League to help develop Charles to become a midfielder that can help him surpass the likes of Noel and Noah to become the #1 striker in the world and carry French football on their backs. And the main thing that Charles was lacking in particular was the experience playing at the pro level, being that he's 15 years old. We also learned that the Rin and Shido systems that Loki set up were mainly to test Charles' passing abilities to 2 strikers with different type of particularities or ego types. So that just further adds on to the idea that everyone else was really just learning or progressing in the league on their own. Like the other masters who we've seen had one-to-one conversations with players from Blue Lock or have team meetings to build up morale or confidence, we have not seen that from Loki. As good as a player Loki is right now in the story of Blue Lock, I just don't think he's at that age or level where he'll be able to pass that wisdom down to others. At the number 4 spot, I'm gonna have to put the genius dribbler from Brazil, Lavinho. Yeah, no last name, he's literally just called Lavinho. I think a lot of people would have put him in last place, but I actually believe that he's done a little more than Loki in terms of being a coach. We know that this league values technique and creativity above all else, and it fits into not only the type of player that he is with his beautiful dribbles, earning the title of the dance man for being able to make his opponents fall to their knees with his dribbling, but also the type of character he is as well. We quickly see that Lavinho has this childish character, and that's mainly why I have him this low on the list of master strikers, but we also see that his philosophy of football isn't a bad one in the slightest, but it's really just an acquired one. Now let me explain. During his introduction with the Blue Lockers at the start of the Neo Egoist League, he says that even though he is their master, he isn't going to teach them anything, because since he's the best in the world, he's not going to give any hints to becoming that. He then starts to deep dive on how he has his own idea of world's best in his head that he believes to be true, and how everyone has their right to their own originality. Behind the childish act, what Lavinho means by saying this is that since everyone is unique and has their own originality, who is he to teach them something that may or may not click to him? Who is he to teach something that's subjective to everybody? That's why I said at the beginning that it's more of an acquired idea that clicks with people sooner than later. As we see characters like Otoya and Bachira have much less serious characters compared to others in the series, that they understood what Lavinho meant quickly and quickly became starters on the team. He then gives insight to Bachira on how to become stronger by telling him to make his visualization of the monster evolve to the next stage. He might be the top scorer in his league, but I just don't think his coachability is completely up there due to his beliefs, but I don't dislike his philosophy at all. Coming to the halfway point of the rankings, at the number 3 spot, I'm putting the world's #1 striker in the Blue Lock verse, Uelitelb. I feel like a lot of people would put him lower, especially for the shit he pulled in recent chapters of the manga that he only came to the NEL to help evolve Kaiser, but honestly, I don't think that's entirely true. He did say in the Manshine City match after Kunigami stole Isagi's goal not to give up, and that he's just opened a path that can lead him to eventually surpass him. We see moments with Isagi and Noah as well talking privately, and it's shown to help Isagi with the more mental aspect of the sport, giving him new viewpoints to look through in future matches, overall helping him evolve in this league as we know it. This also doesn't stop with Isagi. We've also had moments where Noah gives insight to the team, like during the FC Barca match, explaining the difference between a chance and a dilemma, and pretty much letting the team understand the mistake of an individual as a learning experience for everyone to build from. With this team having the philosophy of logic and reason behind it serves a very good ideology for most players to be able to take from, being that logic and reason are more objective ideas. I also like how in every match Noah has subbed into, he wasn't always playing in the striker position, and in matches like Manshine C and Ubers where he played in the defensive lines as the CDM or right back. Overall, even though Noah is getting a lot of hate as of recently, I do think that he's a pretty mid coach. Now, coming to the top 2 spots in this list between Chris Prince of Manshine City and Mark Snuffy of the Ubers, I'm gonna have to put Chris Prince at that number 2 spot and Mark Snuffy at the number 1 spot. But they're sort of like 2 sides of the same coin. Now, let me explain. I understand that having Chris Prince this high on this list of best coaches when he's shown to be possibly the most selfish, narcissistic forward with a big ego many times during the Manshine City match alone, he does teach and give insight to the players of how important the physical body really is, and to be self-aware of how to properly improve and build your body to be able to access that latent talent and use it to its fullest ability, helping players like Chigiri become a much faster player overall, as well as giving him a golden formula to mass produce shots consistently, or an all-rounder like Rail to give him a body that can take his copy abilities to the next level, as he can copy the Atoshi brothers simultaneously from size dribbles to rinse shots. We know that Chris Prince is a very capable man, even being considered the official number 2 striker in the world behind Noah in the Blue Lock verse. With all of his stats maxed out, we can see that his philosophy is a strong one where it can be applicable to every single player. Now, if we flip to the other side of the coin, being Snuffy, we see that he's more of a brains type of guy, being much more tactical and having many plans or designs, as he calls it mainly, in his brain ready to use or switch to at any time in a match. And the rest of the Blue Lockers on Ubers have also needed to engrave all of these plays into their minds flawlessly. The philosophy of Ubers is to treat football as a job, with Ubers being the company, the players being the employees, and the matches being a business. Pretty much everyone plays their roles properly in this job to a T, with everyone else in moderation to keep the company booming. Now, Ubers is a more realistic team when it comes down to the tactical patterns and working as a team in a whole, and that sets it apart from the rest of the other teams, with them having the players use their individual abilities to just make themselves shine. But as we've seen in the Ubers versus Bastard match, that players like Isagi can quickly deduct these patterns to stop them, because behind it all is pure logic and reason. But not so much the same as Bastard, being that Bastard is being spearheaded by 2 different philosophies, so everyone won't be on the same page, rather than Ubers, who everyone is literally on the same page and understands the assignment. Overall, on this coin, it really depends if you like the idea of improving your body to the fullest to carry out your own talent and ideal plays, or having many attack patterns and being more team oriented to win your matches. In the world of football, in terms of coaches, I think Snuffy would be more looked at and respected, so that's why I have him slightly higher personally, but I don't think Chris Prince is far behind in the slightest. If you did enjoy this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below your rankings of masters as coaches down in the comments below, and other things Blue Lock related you guys want me to talk about next on the channel. And without further ado, I hope you guys do have a great day, and see ya.